One of these is a $250 pair of AirPods, and well, the other one cost me 51 bucks from a website whose name I can't pronounce. The thing is, the differences between these two are a lot smaller than I expected. Yeah, this is one of those "I bought fake Apple products from China" videos, and I mean, we've got fakes. We've got pencils, watch bands, AirPods so convincing they'll scan into the Find My app. But somewhere between placing this order and filming this video, the premise fell apart on me because half of what showed up isn't counterfeit at all. Some of it is stuff made to fix Apple's shenanigans, like a cure for the dumbest design decision in modern Apple history. And then there's this, a brand new in-box iPod Classic in 2026. But this ain't a 20-year-old box. Oh no, this is a brand new iPod, a reproduction built with parts that make it objectively better than the one your older brother owned, with a better battery, screen, storage, and even some fun colors. I unwisely spent hundreds of dollars on this crap to find out where the fake ends and where something much weirder begins. You might think that a watch strap is the easiest thing to counterfeit because they're not that special and Apples are pretty expensive, but here's my hot take for you. Apples are actually very special and not that poorly priced. I'm a watch guy, I've been a watch guy for a long time, and Apple straps are incredible. And the value that you get out of a $50 Apple strap compared to something that you'd find in the real watch world is unbelievable. I do miss their leather straps, they used to be so good. But this is a great example. This is the titanium Milanese Loop. It's $199, which, make no mistake, $200 is a lot of money for a strap. But the finishing quality on here is superb. The way that the metal drapes, the way that it never catches your hairs, the finishing on them, the latch is just superb. I mean, listen to this. Oh, I've had that for years and it still feels and actuates fantastically. And because it's titanium, it's super, super light at, well, once the scale turns on, 30 grams. Not bad, not bad. By contrast, let's look at this thing, which was pretty expensive for an Alibaba knockoff. This was $38 and it claims to be a one-to-one clone. I can already tell you it's not, but it also feels a lot better than I expected. So we have 30 grams on the Apple one, 32 more or less. This one is 34. That's within basically margin of error. 34, 70, yeah, okay. So they're about the same weight, which would suggest that this is not steel, it's not aluminum, it too is titanium, and it looks like it. I can tell you the finishing quality ain't quite as good. The finishing on Apple's titanium is superb. You get this really nice, almost kind of golden sheen, and on this kind of knockoff Alibaba one, I don't know, it's very muted and dull, but from far away, and if not comparing side by side, it actually looks pretty convincing. What also surprises me is how much drape the material has. The Apple one still has more. It kind of conforms to your hand a little bit better, but this one is not shabby. Really, my only complaint is that if you look at the actual finishing detail on the titanium links themselves, the Apple one just looks a little bit better. It's got a little bit more sheen, they're a little tighter, there's a little bit more flexibility in the Apple one, but without bending too far like this one, but they're honestly pretty close. Oh, that's where they cheaped out. That clasp is... Oh, yeah. that clasp is the bad part. The catch and release are both not great, but honestly, other than that, now that it's on, I think it feels pretty good. It is snagging my hair just a little bit, but just a little bit. Okay, you know what? This is a lot better than I expected. It's just the clasp that sucks. Even these attachment points are pretty good. This is one area where the old Apple Watch straps that were counterfeit were never, oh, I take it back. Maybe they're still this way. The release tabs are just a lot scratchier. Yeah, but how often are you actually doing that? It's not really that big of a deal. Okay, for $38, I gotta say, yeah, it's a buy. Apple's Alpine Loop is one of my favorite Apple Watch straps of all time. It's $99, it uses titanium links and clasp, and the material is really nice. It's super flexible, it's breathable, it lets you sweat, but it doesn't get sweaty. It's great, it dries quickly. And so when I saw this one on Alibaba, if I can open it, I was excited. Because they actually don't make this purple color anymore. I went to get another one because mine, this has even been washed, just as faded, doesn't look quite as nicely. They don't make it. I'll tell you this much, they're not the same size. This was the 49mm medium large, and this just must be one size fits all. Ooh, that's because it's stretchier. Let me tell you, as somebody who sells the Cloth Pro Max, a really, really great microfiber, and a big one at that, I tried to exactly replicate Apple's polishing cloth, and I couldn't. Nobody could, because their material scientists are the best in the world. I mean, if they made fashion clothing, they would be amongst the best. They would be like Loro Piana. They would be like the highest end brand there is. And the same holds true with their watch bands. Their textile and material engineering is unbelievable. And I can tell you already that this knockoff ain't the same. The stretch and the weave is not quite as good. This is another, listen to this. You ready? Here's the Apple one. Okay. Here's the Alibaba one. I mean, they're not comparable. Having said that, this is a really nice looking strap in its own right, and I think it would wear pretty well. Oh, did you see that? Ooh, it doesn't have the same click as you would get on the Apple one. Let's try that one more time. Here we go. Yeah, it's just not as satisfying. However, once it's on the wrist, it's upside down, but it's not bad. This was $18.27, which in my opinion is overpriced. I think the titanium link bracelet at $40 was a much better deal than this at $20. It's not a bad strap. It's probably better than what you get on Amazon for $10, but an Apple strap, it is not. It is nowhere close. The AirPods 4 exist. I have been using them quite a bit over the last 30 days because I've been doing the 30-day Apple challenge. And what I must tell you is that they are not good. Just buy the real AirPods Pro. I really think the tips on the AirPods Pro give you so much better isolation. They give you better sound quality. You get better bass response. Everything about them is better. I do know, however, that they don't fit in some people's ears, and that's why they continue to sell these, and that's why people continue to buy them. But maybe China has invented a solution for these cheaper, crappier AirPods, and it's right here in this case. This is a contact lens case, I think, because there's like a finger dip. It's marked L and R, and then the ear tips appear to be stuck. Are they melted? Nope, they're just stuck to the top of the lid. That's 100% a contact lens case. So the idea here is that you take the ear tip and you slide it on top of the AirPods 4. And now, da-da-da-da, you have an AirPods Pro. It just slowly goes over the top. Does it hold on? Yeah, actually surprisingly well. Yeah, see, if you just shove it on, it's not aligned with the vent. So you have to like pull it off and then kind of align it and then push it down. And it's really sticky. So you have to like massage it into place and work the bubbles out. It takes a good bit of practice probably to get this right on. But when you put them in your ear, maybe they'll sound fine. Probably not, because there's no microphone to actually do the active EQ. And oh my gosh. Oh, those feel awful to put in your ears. And did they misalign? No, they did stay in place. That's probably why they feel so nasty. They have to be grippy. Oh, wow. Those are uncomfortable. Way worse than the AirPods Pro. But I'll give it a shot. How do they sound? You know? I'll tell you this much. They've got way better bass response, probably because that's actually sealed in your ear. But wait for a voice to come in. Oh yeah, I think it's pretty much a lot worse. Let me remove one ear. Oh wow, yeah, you lose a lot of the highs through those little tiny holes, I think. Let me pull them both off. Oh, it's not even close. These make it sound so much worse. So, do not buy these, I guess. What did these cost? $6, I think. Yeah, $6. Okay. $6 here, $15 there. It adds up. So I use today's sponsor, Monarch, to hold myself accountable. Monarch is the one app that allows me to see all my money at once. It syncs with over 13,000 banks, cards, and brokerages. Every account I own, business, personal, the card bankrolling this AliExpress nonsense, my investments, car loans, mortgages, it's all poured into one clean dashboard that I can just read at a glance. Monarch splits my fixed spending from my flexible spending. So in about 4 seconds, I can see whether a month of impulse gadget buying has torched my entire budget, and well, everything else kind of just sorts itself into categories automatically. With a handful of custom rules I can set up once and then just forget. Its AI reads my real transactions and explains in plain English why a category jumped, no spreadsheet archaeology required, and my wife and I can share the same view, which has ended the "wait, what was this charge?" conversation. And well, it looks just as good on my phone as it does on the web. Monarch is properly private and fully ad-free. You're the customer rather than the product. So tap the link below or scan the QR code on screen and use code LABS50 for 50% off your first year. Track your money and blow it slightly less on a bunch of junk with Monarch. Okay, it only took 7 seconds. Okay, 1111111. Oh, thank goodness, because otherwise this is going to go till 5 minutes, and then, yeah, that takes up a lot of storage on the cameras. Okay, Apple Pencils. I think that AliExpress has kind of cut down on these recently because there's not that many on there. These are all from Temu, where you can find a bunch of intellectual copyright crap and trademark infringement galore. Let's start with the cheapest one, this one. It is iPad Pencil Stylus Pen for iPad. It cost us $9.34. Okay, so we're going to open this up. Hold on. Is this the Apple one? This one's inauthentic. It's not as sharp. Okay. Here we go. Aha! What? USB-C cable. That's not too encouraging. Look at that, though. You get 3 extra tips. That's nice. Okay, wow, this feels like crap. Okay. So here it is. It's a white pencil. Is this where you charge the USB-C? Yeah. We don't need that. We don't want that. Goodbye. Be gone forever. Okay. USB-C. And there's a button up here. That's probably your pairing button or your battery display. Look at that, 3 batteries. All right, this is almost certainly not going to magnetically pair to the, it doesn't even. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the magnets don't line up at all, which means it doesn't auto pair and it doesn't charge because it's USB-C. If I come here into the, oh, what the? It just worked. I don't need to do anything. I guess in a way, the iPad, to my knowledge, doesn't require active input for like touch registration, but it does require Bluetooth. It uses Bluetooth even if behind the scenes to transmit tilt and pressure. No, wait. I don't ever use Apple Notes, can you tell? So obviously there's no tilt at all, and there's no pressure. No. Like you would think, oh wait, no, that's pressure. No, that's just because of speed. The faster you go, the thicker the stroke. You don't need to pair, so then what's the point of the battery? Magnetic fast charging active stylus user. Wow, okay. Active manual or active Bible? How to connect. The stylus pen doesn't have Bluetooth. Okay, so it does need to be turned on to register touch. I don't know, that's weird. Regardless, it's a piece of garbage, so don't buy it. Next one. This one is gonna be good. This one is $10.19. Stylus pencil for iOS, Android and Windows. Is this one of those cool super conductive ones that like doesn't need anything special and it works on any capacitive screen? That would be sick because I've actually been wanting one of these. Let's see. This one feels even cheaper than the last one. It's really light. I did something and now there's just a green dot. This is not a button. This is where you plug in the USB-C. Goodbye, nib. Oh, so that's capacitive, I think. Okay, so it tells you your state of charge, and then that's your on and off button. But it doesn't input with the iPad as a pencil. It doesn't know, because it thinks it's just a finger. So I have to say draw with finger is on. There you go. Okay. So it just considers it a finger. Same deal, no tilt, no touch. Oh, gosh, did you see that? This is not the move. And it just straight up does not work. If you go straight on, you have to come at it from an angle for it to actually function. But check this out. Haha. Okay, so it works on any screen, and as much as the screen is capacitive, this is cool. I mean, it does do what it claims to do, just not well on the iPad. You don't want this for your iPad. Holy crap, that's bad. You want this for your Windows tablet. Okay, that leaves us for the last one, the real one, the clone. This one was $14.21. It is said to be one of the best Apple Pencil knockoffs there are, and I am really, really skeptical because it says smooth writing capacitive stylus, active stylus pen. Whoa! Look at that, it comes with a nice little case. It's like a toothbrush case, like a travel toothbrush case. That's nice though, look at that. Oh, weird. It's a USB-C charging dock. I hope it can charge on the iPad. I mean, it sure locks in. Okay, so that's USB-C. This would be kind of nice to charge the real Apple Pencil because I never like to leave it docked and then when I come back to it, it's dead. Okay, that's nice, that's nice. You've got, oh. Whoa, you've got 3 different tips. These 2 look like they might be capacitive, like the other one. There's nope. Oh, there is a button. And there's a blue ring, Bluetooth. Does it pair just by docking it? No. But it just works. Oh, look at that. No. I got excited. I was like, it supports pressure. No, it doesn't. I was just fast because I was excited. Okay, but it does support Bluetooth. So, pairing request, pair, and this should hopefully give us pressure. Does it? No. Magnetic attraction charging. So maybe it charges on the iPad. It says it supports tilt sensitivity, but not pressure. Oh, it's off. Having to turn it on is really annoying. So it supports tilt. As you tilt, the stroke gets broader. As you go higher, it gets narrower. See that? But that's it. There's no pressure at all. It's just height, which honestly is less useful to me than pressure. Maybe to artists, they would appreciate that for like shading and stuff. But as someone who's writing, yeah, no, that's annoying. Okay, so, well, that feels like a bust. Hold on. It's showing now. It shows 98% charged as a pencil. Oh, maybe it disappeared because I had turned it off before. Yeah, it was off. Oh, wait, no, I wanted to try the clear nib. I'd be worried that it would scratch my nanotexture, but that feels awesome. That's really scratchy. Oh, yeah, that's why. Look at that. There's a little metal conductive nib at the top. It's like a ballpoint pen. It probably feels like a ballpoint on a regular iPad. Hold on, let me try. Here's a regular iPad. Oh, yeah. That's nice. So on the perimeter, it feels like a ballpoint. On the display itself, nanotexture, that's pure pencil. Probably scratches the crap out of your iPad, but it's nice. Okay, look, like, no, this is not awesome, but in a pinch for 15 bucks, it's workable. Okay, this one is just funny. Everybody knows that the Magic Mouse is an abomination. You gotta harpoon the turtle to charge it, and you can't use it while it's charging. Now, some people will say, well, it only takes 5 minutes to charge for a full hour or a day's worth of use. Just charge your mouse. It's not that hard. And you know what? I get it, but no, you're wrong. You should never be prevented from using your mouse while it's charging. That is stupid. Franny Dive made this. It is an ergonomic grip for the Magic Mouse. Do we just drop it in here? With a lightning connector on one end, or USB-C if you have the new one. And then on the bottom, MagSafe. And wowzers. Look at that. That actually looks kind of cool. That looks way cooler than I thought it was going to. Oh, that actually feels pretty good. They put the laser right here and then there's a little mirror to reflect so that it can actually get down to the table. It's just supposed to pair when you plug it in and just might be super, super, super dead. We haven't used this in a few years. There's even a little strain relief on the lightning connector. They've thought of everything. That doesn't matter anyway, because look what you can do instead. You put it back in the dock, and then, using the power of MagSafe, you can charge your mouse. Ta-da! Yeah, this is how you are actually able to charge the magic mouse. The question is, can you mouse around while it's charging? Maybe. I don't know, because it doesn't want to pair to my freaking Mac. Oh wait, there's an LED down here. Hold on. Yeah, white LED, we're in business. Yeah, it does. Okay, so that doesn't fix our problem. This thing might just be dead. But that's on the mouse. That's not on the dock. This thing was $11.69. Honestly, big buy. I'm for it because it just makes the mouse so much more ergonomic. And then when you're done with it, you dock it on the MagSafe. When you're done, undock, dock, undock, dock, undock. And maybe you can even use it while it's plugged in. The world may never know. Okay, these are like legitimately illicit. When I received these boxes, I was like, what? One of them is sealed, one of them is open. So I figured, well, I didn't order this. And then I opened it up and I'm like, oh, it is what appears to be a retail sealed copy of the AirPods Pro 2. You cannot get these on AliExpress or Temu. Those websites are filled with crappy AirPods inspired knockoffs that suck. We already did a video on one of those a while back. No, these are clones and they're said to emulate the real thing. They're quite literally counterfeits, and buying them is sus. There are sellers that you can contact via WhatsApp or via their website. They only accept cryptocurrency or payment via like Western Union money orders. Yeah, it's a racket. Don't support these. Don't buy these. I want to start with these. The AirPods Pro 2. Because while these are the older version, these are the definitive that everybody says are the ones to get. And I have to say, this is a really good copy. Even the box. Like the box is usually where you can tell a fake from a real product, but they're embossed in the same way. They've got the same Apple logo. It's got the same sheen. The pull tabs look pretty similar. Even down here at the bottom where they put on a serial number with a sticker, that's also the same. That's pretty sketchy. And it says assembled in Vietnam, which is where Apple is making these things. So let's pull the tab. Oh. That would already let me know it's not real. That there is a difference between an Apple pull tab and a counterfeit pull tab, and that is the latter. However, once you get the box open, that's good. That's authentic. It takes forever to drop. That's a tight box. We have designed by Apple in California. You open it up. Yikes, guys. Oops. Sorry. Yikes. This is pretty impressive because this is hard to copy. This takes effort, and they've taken that effort. This is actually another tell. I don't believe they use plastic here anymore. They use paper, and the application of this plastic is quite poor. The pull tab it's on backwards. But again, if you didn't have experience opening Apple products, you probably wouldn't know. And compared to the AirPods Pro 2, holy crap. These are not like the knockoffs I got from Temu. These are really precise. I mean, there are differences, right? Like look at the USB-C port. The counterfeit has a much wider, much broader looking USB-C port than the official Apple one does. But the microphone holes and even the button placement, the plastic and the drafting on these fake ones is not quite as good, but it's really, really, really close. Same deal with the loop. The little machined loop for the lanyard, the authentic one just looks a little bit, it's kind of like that watch strap. It just looks a little bit more polished. It's a little bit more consistent. This kind of looks inserted, but other than that, even the lid, that's pretty good. Is it the same? No. I mean, you can hear the difference. There's real, there's fake. But if you didn't know, if you didn't have them side by side, I don't know that you'd notice. Honestly, the biggest tell for me is the LED. The LED on the authentic one sits just below the plastic, and on this fake one, it's a little bit deeper. Like the color's the same, but it just looks like it's inset a little bit more. But this is subtle. I mean, we're talking really minute details. Oh, Well, as soon as you hold the AirPod itself. Oh yeah, there's a weight difference. We've got 6 and 8. Yeah, the real Apple one is noticeably heavier. So the Apple one is on the right, the Counterfeit is on the left, and as I rotate them, you can, wait, no, I got that backwards. It's confusing even me. This is the Apple one, this is the Counterfeit. As you rotate them, you can see how close they are. Really, the biggest difference visually, once you see the actual AirPod, is the tip. The Counterfeit tips are clearly a different material, and they're just cheaper. It comes back to that material science thing like we were talking about with the watch straps. The silicone Apple uses is really good, and this isn't bad, but it doesn't feel quite the same. The real ones should fit on the fake ones. Yep, 100% they do. And Apple sells these. I don't know if they come off, but they go. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Not your AirPods Pro. Makes the same sound through that case speaker. It even supports tilt control? Yeah. There's no way it supports live translation. Okay, sure. Let's try it. Pull them out and put them in my ears. Oh, it defaulted to noise canceling. That's pretty close to the AirPods Pro 2. Now the seams are coming undone. The noise canceling is actually really good. The transparency mode, if that's what it's allegedly in right now, yeah, it is.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Benjamin.
Yeah, I mean, it works, but you know when you get like a cheaper pair of headphones, like a nothing pair of headphones is like the nothing in-ears, that's a good example. Their transparency is just like, it's okay, but it's not great. Yeah, that's what this is here. I can leave my AirPods in and talk to someone just fine. I would not want to do that with these. But if I come in here, it gives me all the settings of AirPods. They have completely faked these appearing like legitimate AirPods, and apparently they're even eligible as far as Apple's concerned for beta software. Okay, so live, start translation.
Quiero una bebida muy fría ahora. Hace mucho calor.
That works. That just like straight up works. Just like real AirPods. Wow. Let's go to the TV app and try to do spatial audio with head tracking. I bet that doesn't. That works. 100% that works. I got one. Call me. Okay, you ready? Oh. It answered. Huh. How do I sound? Pretty awful? Pretty much identical? Wow. Oh, man. So, yeah, from a feature standpoint, they seem like pretty much identical. I know one that won't work. I guarantee it. Find my. Because nobody, to my knowledge, has figured out how to do the chip that is in the, is that the T1? H2? There's too many letters. Johnny Sarugi, make it simpler. Okay, so it does show the AirPods, and I can play the sound through the speaker. Will that work? But there's no precision finding. I don't even know if it'll find the case. It's got a speaker. Okay, so Find My just straight up doesn't work. There's two things that I haven't tracked that I want to give a shot. The first one, and I'm already very suspicious of it, is sound quality. There's a surprising lack of gain. They don't get very loud. Okay, here's my review. They're not AirPods Pro 2. They do not sound as good, but they sound vastly better than the AirPods 4 that I have been using for the last month. And these were $58. So I can see why Apple is trying to stop the sale of these and seize them, because for 58 bucks, they're not bad. But these are the old ones. And there's some new ones, some AirPods Pro 3, J800s instead. Now, it should be noted that these are not the latest version of the AirPods Pro 3 clones. Oh yeah, this box is way cheaper. It feels cheaper, doesn't have the same sheen. This one is honestly really close to an authentic Apple box. This one is not even in the ballpark. All wrong, it's all off. It legitimately does not work. That's not a real QR code. But that is my beef with this thing, is these are really trying to present themselves as legitimate AirPods. They're counterfeits. They're fraudulent. Oh yeah, these are instantly unconvincing. Despite these being the AirPods Pro 3, the newer generation, they were less expensive. They were $43 as compared to the near $60 AirPods Pro 2 clones. And these are not the latest version of the AirPods Pro 3. There are new ones that came out after I reviewed mine, but initial reviews are kind of mid. They do, however, bring the one thing that these don't have, the heart rate sensor. Yes, allegedly the new clone has a functioning heart rate sensor that works with Apple Health, which is pretty crazy. They also bring with them slightly higher end build quality. These are not good. I mean, you look at these and you're like, yeah, these are fakes. These feel like knockoffs. They don't feel bad. I mean, it's still serviceable. The case actually feels, the case might be better. No. Compare them to the AirPods Pro 3. Here's the authentic one. There is a difference. I mean, the little mesh not only isn't a diamond weave like it is on the AirPods Pro 3 up at close detail, but you can actually see where it's inset into the case. It's non-flush, which would never, ever happen with the real AirPods Pro. The tips, similarly, don't remove easily. What is it with tips? They cannot figure those out. Are they interchangeable? Yeah, maybe. Not really. There's a little less tolerance. The official Apple ones don't really sit flush. See that? That's the real Apple tips on these fake pods. So the fit and finish is just not quite the same. They also give you 5 tips, so it's the same. I use extra small on my AirPods Pro 3. Don't worry, the size of the ear is not the measure of the man. No! No! What the? I tried to pull the tip off and I just raw dogged the thing off the whole casing. Well, I guess I can see what they look like on the inside. These are not your AirPods Pro. Double tap. Did they nail that? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, the reason I tapped on the side is because the official AirPods, I always thought it was capacitive. It's not. It's literally like an accelerometer. So once you tap it, it goes, and it's the same here. Place both AirPods in your ears. And let's try the sound quality. I only have one ear in, but... Ooh. Yeah. Those are not good. Well, that's a bust. They also don't sound very good through the one ear that I can hear. Oh, yeah, no, they're like actively bad. Snazzy morality seminar, okay? That's beyond supporting illicit counterfeit products, which you should not do. They're just not that good of a value. I mean, even at 60 bucks, like 60 bucks is a lot less than 100 and something, but AirPods, they're like one of the few things that Apple makes that I can just unequivocally say are worth every penny. Even at full retail price, they're worth every penny, but they're seldom full retail price. I mean, the AirPods Pro 3 went on sale during the last Prime Day for like $160. That is a crazy deal. And you can find the used AirPods Pro 2 for even less. Just buy real AirPods because you shouldn't be buying counterfeits, and they sound way better and they don't break in half when you try to pull the ear tip off. Okay, I'm really excited for this one. I've had it for like 3 months, and every single day I've been like, who cares about the video? I'm just gonna go open it. It is genuinely, or was genuinely expensive at $244.15. However, it is at least an attempt to give you a real experience of what opening an iPod would have been like during the era. I never owned a 6th generation iPod Classic. Mine was the 5th gen. I got a 5th gen iPod Video and I used that for years and years and years until I ended up getting my iPhone as my first kind of real music player big boy purchase thing. But yeah, the iPod was amazing. And this box is not. This is not replicable for the real iPod experience. For example, this image is super heavily pixelated, like really, really low resolution image. And on the back, like none of this is right. Wow, this is not a good box. That's a bummer, because I was excited about the box. Oh, I forgot I ordered green. That's sick. Okay, so this is, oh, whoa, what the frick? It's like chameleon rainbow colored on the back. That's gnarly. So this is a real legitimate iPod, kind of. They've taken a real iPod motherboard and then they've repackaged it in a brand new chassis with a new battery, a new screen, and an SSD. Oh, wowzers, look at those monsters. They're silver inside. Apples were not silver inside. It is really light. I do gotta say that because those hard drives are relatively heavy. Oh, wow. Get a good look. It's never gonna look like this ever again. You will have scratches and fingerprints galore forever. That is a look. Also, hey, that's not my fingerprint. Did they build this in the Trump T1 factory? The stainless steel backed case is narrower than the aluminum, so there's just a lip here. That doesn't feel good at all. Oh, and look at the headphone jack. There's a lip right there. The hold switch doesn't feel, oh, the hold switch is scratchy. I'm disappointed already. DankPods would not be pleased with this one. The display does look nice. Let's plug it in and see if we can't get some music on here. Now, this has gotten a little bit more difficult over time as Apple has slowly stopped caring about the iPod. And it has that crappy Finder sync that is not really like a serious way to manage your files on your iPod or your old iPhone. And so there is this very cool new app called PodCenter. It's not free if you have over 50 songs. I think it's like 20 bucks. But what it promises to do is manage your iPod like a traditional iTunes iPod, which is great. However, you do have to enable disk access from the menu here, or at least I thought. Looks like it did it by default. So here you go. The contents of iPod could not be read. Click restore to restore this iPod to factory settings. Oh, I wonder if that's because I set it up on a PC, because back in the day, I think by the time this came around though, it allowed you to do both. There was a time where you could only be synced to one OS. And so if you plugged it into a PC, you'd have to restore it and vice versa. My day just keeps getting worse. I was gonna say, I don't think it's an authentic display, but at least it looks really nice. And yet, if I turn it at an angle, see that hair right there? Yeah, that's in between the glass and the actual LCD. That's inside my iPod. Let's unplug it. Just the quality's not there. It says okay to disconnect. It's thinking about all the songs that it's received, and I set up my English language again. Music. No music, no artists. Oh, here's another complaint. I should probably stop complaining, but I paid $250 for this. There's a bunch of little specks underneath the display. It almost looks like glue or something that's underneath it. There's a ton of crap underneath the display lens. I might have to take this thing apart because it's so poorly put together. I think I could do a better job. Like, look at the hold switch. When I undo the hold switch, it's still halfway turned on. Oh, I might need to come back tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is now today, and the iPod works thanks to the magic of Windows and iTunes. No matter what I tried on the Mac, it would not properly restore it. And you look online and there's Reddit threads saying like, go halfway through, unplug it, and then replug it, open the music app, and then close it, and then do it through Finder, but then it's a joke. And it's just not well. How is it possible that it is better and easier to restore an iPod using Windows than it is a Mac? I don't know, but I've done it, and now using PodCenter, I can drag over the 82 songs. One of the reasons PodCenter is cool is that it converts all of the tracks. You just drag in whatever files you want, it converts them, it gets them ready for the iPod. You can drag and drop, you don't have to do the like library syncing management shenanigans that you typically have to do with iTunes or you had to do back in the day. It's great. And well, now that it's done, I can just unplug the iPod. This dock connector is bad. The build quality on here, this is not regular iPod quality. I'm really disappointed. Hey, we got some music. That's awesome. Okay, so we've got albums, not that many. Where's my album art? Oh, there you go. Just had to cash in. It is funny how like, it still feels very quick and navigable, but it is a little slower than I remember. Just like starting this song, it's taken a second. And well, that was just the nature of the technology at the time. But the click wheel has really aged incredibly well. It's still super intuitive to be able to go backwards and forwards. It's still pretty responsive. It's great for adjusting your volume, which speaking of, let's listen to some music. These are my old, but at the time, very fancy in-ear monitors. They're very affordable. Who coiled these last? Probably me. Oh, I forgot about that. There was kind of like a little screensaver that it would go into when it was in rest mode and you were playing music. This is a late version iPod. I actually discovered in setting it up that it's a 7th gen classic. So this is the very, very last version that I think they discontinued in 2013, something like that. Not that long ago. Oh, that's right. This is Brick Breaker, basically. They changed it to be Vortex because it's 3D and it uses the click wheel. And what's great about these games is that you can play them while you're listening to your real music. Okay, I have to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to be here for the next 30 minutes. We're going to go into music and then enter cover flow. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen this. And yeah, when there's only 7 albums, it's not that impressive. One thing that's interesting is every time you enter cover flow, it repopulates the image cache, probably because there's limited memory and it's doing that as you scroll through the covers. But despite the hardware limitation, it feels pretty quick. It does take about a second to start the song, and that's interesting because it's using an SSD inside, or probably an SD card rather than a hard drive, which would have been even slower. But despite that, it feels like it's designed to handle that kind of stuff, that the animations are accommodating to the speed limitations of the hardware. And it looks and feels great. And it sounds awesome, which is great because the 5th gen video sounded awesome. The 5.5 was even better. The 6th gen classic sucked. And this 7th gen did mitigate that. It also added a much faster SoC. And so navigating this iPod in general is quite a bit faster, even though to me today, by today's standard, it still feels really quite slow. But it wasn't slow. It was fast, okay? Look how long it takes to add the album art. It's crazy. Okay, thanks to improper tools, I have absolutely mutilated this case, but I don't care because it's so low quality, I'm just gonna rebuild this thing anyway, all on my own. Let's find out what's inside. Okay, I do remember there are a couple of the power connectors over here. See, I still remember a little bit about my old iPod days. We'll lift that up. There is the rear cover that looks awful. I mean, it's cool looking, but wow, that is oxidized to kingdom come. The clips are not very well done in there. And then it looks like this is also a non-original audio board. Yeah, the hold switch is definitely not OG. And the way they transplanted this, see how poorly fastened it is? This whole support section is warped. Okay, we've got a replacement battery that's not glued into place. That explains why it was kind of loud a little bit before. This is clearly an original LCD because it has just been scratched forwards and backwards, and wow. I did not expect this. I was expecting an iFlash quad, which is by far the most common implementation of adding an SSD to your iPod. You can add 4 micro SD card slots, which give you up to 2 terabytes of potential expansion. But this is using an M.2 SATA drive, which is just bizarro. And also, it's in there totally crooked. Okay, all right, we've got her out. And there it is. Oh, look at that. There's a holographic quality control sticker that's now stuck to the back of my iPod. Cool. So the original parts on this are quite literally the iPod board itself, and it would appear the LCD. Everything else is reproduction, and not good reproduction quality either. And this board itself has been through some stuff. Yep, there it is, 128 gigabyte M.2. This is definitely a SATA SSD, and not a good one. Clearly one that they just stripped out of a laptop that was headed to the recyclers. Even in the current memory crisis, this is worth absolutely nothing. This is just total garbage NAND that is probably very old. And I wonder if it's one of the reasons why the iPod was both failing to restore pretty successively on my Mac, and if it's the reason for which the album art and the general OS felt so sluggy when trying to fetch stuff off of disk. It could be that this thing is just failing. I think a much better solution, rather than doing something like this, is using the iFlash Quad. The only things worth keeping on this particular iPod, well, the screen's just sort of true, is this. Maybe this. Hey! They didn't even remove the adhesive. Look at that, it's right there. You lazy chumps. Oh, yeah, that's why there were a bunch of bumps on the LCD, is because there's literal bumps on the LCD. This is just an iPod that hasn't been taken very good care of. And unfortunately, there are no like OLED modifications or reproduction screens. The screen and the main board are the two things that you still need from an original iPod, but everything else can be changed. And that's why I'm so disappointed in this one, I think, is it was $250. The parts they used are not high quality at all, and they didn't do any additional modifications, which you can do. There's support now for Bluetooth in these devices. You can add a taptic engine from an iPhone so that when you scroll, it vibrates. There are so many cool things that you can do with these iPods nowadays. And that's why the $240 prepackaged Chinese special, not the move. This is really poorly done. Go out and buy a real iPod, or better yet, find an old used iPod that's beat up and build one yourself. It's pretty easy, it's a lot of fun, and it's a better way to do things. Well, folks, what can I say? You get what you pay for, and well, sometimes not even that. I think I spent $400 on all this crap, and the only thing that's kind of cool is the knockoff AirPods Pro 2. But I will never use them because they sound worse than the real AirPods Pro 2, which themselves are not that expensive. What am I doing with my life? Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay snazzy.